Everybody, this is the Magic Man, the tennis preacher. Y'all know the prophet, the psychic, and the tennis pastor. Coming back at you again with another video. People, I was not planning on doing any video today. I know the mammy just went on, and you know, I know her Cosby center, and but I wasn't planning on doing any video, man, and so I was just going through my, sometimes I go through the conversations of my channel, and what I've been noticing is that a few of my subscribers or viewers, they've been arguing over this one topic about Federer having a weak era, and that's why he won, and that's why he's so great. It was arguably the GOAT. It's still arguably the GOAT, and so I've been watching that conversation. I never got it. I think I got involved and said one. I think I made a comment about 2 weeks ago. I think I responded to something, but there been this conversation about that Djokovic, he had a tougher era. And Federer had this weak era. Now, I've heard those arguments before. And now, listen, people, I don't have a problem with people saying that Djokovic, he had tougher competition, that he beat a top-level Nadal, dominated a top-level Nadal. He beat Federer and Nadal. Oh, that's good and probably true. Okay, but people, this is why I'm making a video. Here's the problem I got right here. The person that was, I would like to say a critic of Federer. I'm going to say they haters of Federer. You know, it's one thing, you know, critics, you can be a critic of somebody, but it's sort of fair. But these are haters of Federer. So it's getting so bad, the conversation became, that's why I'm making the video, because the conversation started to sound so irrational, and so it almost started to sound ignorant to me, that it's discrediting Federer's greatness. That and people, another reason I'm making this video is because as Djokovic gets greater and greater, people don't know how to say, well, Djokovic, we think he may be the GOAT now, but wow, Federer is still so great, his contribution to tennis. Okay, most people, I hope, would say that. But some people going to be like, oh, Djokovic is the GOAT, or Nadal is the GOAT, or Nadal got 22 majors now, Federer nothing. They're going to act like Federer's contribution that was before Djokovic. Now I'm finna get to something now. It was before Nadal. They act like that's nothing now. So that's what bothers me. People, that's one reason I made my channel, people. Let me say this. One reason I made the channel, I can't stand to hear people just discredit somebody. I'm talking about if your discrediting is true, okay. But I'm talking about I can't stand to see somebody discredit somebody that's so great, and plus it's not even true. Okay, all right. So, and I'm that way in my personal life. If I hear somebody I don't care if you're my family member. If you're talking stupid about somebody and I know it ain't true, I'm going to check you quick, and I'm going to check you truthfully. Okay, but let's move on with the title of the video, people. People, listen here. Let's talk about just why Federer is so great. A lot of people don't get this right here, what Federer was able to do. And a lot of people, when I hear people say Federer had a weak era, a week this, a week that. That tells me they don't quite understand. Number one, they don't understand how the level of tennis changed. Like the level of play today is greater than the level of play back then. But let's go back. Let's go back with Federer first of all. Well, first of all, let me tell y'all the great thing, what Federer was able to do, people. And now I'm finna show you great stuff now. Michael Jordan was able to do it. Muhammad Ali was able to do it. You understand what I'm saying? Now, people didn't say, when Michael Jordan came into the league, he didn't become well, by the third year, some people saying, man, this is the best we ever seen. Okay, all right. So, Michael Jordan, when he became, let me say something. So you may say, well, what about the third year of Michael Jordan? By the third year, people saw that Michael Jordan had raised his level above everybody else's. Okay? I'm talking as far as individual play. All right? I know basketball is a team sport, and you got to have more than just one individual. But, so, before Michael Jordan, people was talking about Magic Johnson. They saw the Magic Johnson level. Michael Jordan came and raised his level above Magic Johnson. So, but nobody didn't say, and Michael Jordan raised his level above Larry Bird and all these other players. But nobody said, Michael Jordan, the reason he won, he had a weak era. They didn't say that. They didn't say the reason Michael Jordan looked so good, or the reason Michael Jordan was able to raise his level above other players is because Magic Johnson was weak. No, what Michael Jordan did, he did what Federer did. He cased the level out of the other players that was high, and he rose his level above their level and way above their level. And that's what we know. Now, I know Michael Jordan didn't start winning championships till later, but Michael Jordan as an individual player, by the second and third year, he was already Air Jordan, and he raised his level way above everybody else's. Now, let's go back to Federer, and then I'm going to make my point here. The people that say Federer had a weak era, this is what they don't get Federer credit for. He was able to do something that very few people in each eras, in decades, are able to do. Federer was able to come into the level, came on the tour, playing like everybody else. Everybody knew he was talented. Losing like everybody else. And finally, when was it? 2001, he beat Pete Sampras. What was it? The fourth round, third round, whatever round it was. Second round, could have been the second round. I don't know. Second, third, or fourth round. He beat Pete Sampras. He could have lost the next round. And, you know, that gave him some confidence. Now, he didn't win a major till 2 years after that. A lot of people think Federer beat Pete Sampras, and then he went and won the major, or won a major in a couple months. He didn't win a major until like a couple years after that. But what Federer did do, by 2003, he was able to raise his level above everybody else's. And he really raised it in 2004. And then that's the Federer that we know. Now, people, listen, look who was playing during Federer's era. Andre Agassi had 8 majors, people. Now, there are people that look now. See, this is what people do. This is another mistake people make. They'll look at Agassi now and say, oh, that was Agassi. Back then, at that level, Agassi was the man. 8 majors. Agassi is considered to be one of the greatest players of all time. He ain't in the GOAT conversation, but he's one of the greatest players. 8 majors. How many players got 8 majors in the history? But let me just stick with the point I'm making about what made Federer so great. Before there was a Nadal, before there was a Djokovic, Federer was able to do something. I'm telling y'all, people, that was amazing. He was able to raise his level way above everybody's level of that era. And that's why he's the Roger Federer that we know today. That's why he's in that conversation of arguably the GOAT, okay? I know that's threatened now. I know Djokovic and Nadal are up there now. But I'm just saying, people don't realize how great that is. So people, listen, those of you who still want to say, no, it's the weak era, Magic Man. No, I'm telling y'all, people, if people like, even like, I just gave you an example with Agassi. I remember Leighton Hewitt. Leighton Hewitt is considered to be one of the toughest players of all time. Serious. When people call up toughest players, they call up him, Jimmy Connors, and Nadal. Just sheer toughness. Leighton Hewitt was #1 for like 2 consecutive years, had 2 majors, and Federer's level topped that. Now, somebody will look at, I know somebody gonna jump in the conversation and say, Magic Man, come on with this Leighton Hewitt stuff. Well, people understand, Leighton Hewitt's level now is nothing, but back then, the level was something. That's what counts. What Federer was able to do at the level at that time. Now, people, let me give y'all another example. I'm going to show y'all how great of a feat that was, achievement that Federer was able to do by raising his level above everybody else and then just putting it on cruise control and becoming the Roger Federer. People, imagine if Sinner who just lost in the final of the Miami, imagine if Sinner was able to, whether it's mentally clicking to it, whether he's able to tap into it from a coach, somebody, whether he's able to go to the gym and do some type of exercise that make his mind click and body click to some super level. Imagine if Sinner was able to raise his level way above everybody's, way above Djokovic, way above Nadal. Then he can just cruise and win a lot of majors. But he can't do that. And none of these players can do it. Even Medvedev, who raised his level really high to win 21 or however many consecutive matches, lost against Djokovic, but he couldn't raise it way above Djokovic and Nadal. I mean, even if he would have beat Djokovic, it ain't like way above it. Can you imagine if Medvedev today was able, let's just say the highest level today, let's say Djokovic's highest level is level 12. Let's say Federer's around 11.5, Federer's highest level. Let's say Nadal's highest level is like 11.5 or something. Let's say somewhere around there, okay? But let's say Djokovic, his highest level is 12, okay? Imagine if Sinner, who just lost in the Miami, imagine if he could raise his level, championship level, to 15. Then he'll just cruise. He'll just cruise. And then there are going to be people 15 years from now be saying, well, maybe, yeah, Djokovic have had 20 majors, but maybe Sinner, well, maybe they wasn't as good as we thought because Sinner came and beat them so easy. No, what made it easy is that Sinner raised the level. See, people, it's all about level. The reason why these guys got so many majors, they got level. Now, here's the secret. If I was coaching any of these other young guys, I would try to get them to, I would try to figure out a way. I don't care if through their physical conditioning training, through mental training, through whatever, going to church, talking to the priest, the pastor. I would try to get them to raise that level. If you can raise the level, you can be like Federer. And just like Federer was back in the Federer era for 3 or 4 years, you'll be so far above everybody else. And then you can just blast everybody, okay? Now, so I just want to bring that about. I just want people to understand. And really now, I got to be careful how I say this. People pretty well, Nadal and Djokovic, they pretty well fed off Federer's level to raise their level. Because remember now, Federer, he kept Nadal, at least not on the clay, but he kept Nadal at bay at the Wimbledon when 2006 and 7. And then Nadal was able to finally raise that level to Federer level, and he really raised it by 2009. But see, still though, Nadal should thank Federer for that, because still playing, when you're playing with somebody, you feeding off their level. You getting into their level. Oh, I'm going to try to top that level. So these people today, same thing with Djokovic. Then Federer beat Djokovic before, I know this is before Djokovic even won a slam, but Djokovic didn't come out with the super level at the beginning. Federer beat Djokovic winning the U.S. Open or something in 2006 or 7. I think it was one of those. And then finally, Djokovic won the Australian Open. He still wasn't Djokovic, the God mode, but then finally by 2011, 2010, by the end of 2010, 2011, Djokovic was entering the God mode then. But still, he was probably feeding off that big level Federer had. That Federer had grounded. Y'all understand what I'm saying? So I hate to see somebody acting like, it'll be like this here. Imagine if Federer is the one who created the first iPhone. And let's say Djokovic, he look at that iPhone and make a iPhone 2. And then people act like, well, Federer ain't nothing now. Djokovic got the iPhone 2. But Djokovic wouldn't have had the iPhone 2 if he wouldn't have got the level from the iPhone 1 that Federer had. Okay? And Federer probably fed off the Pete Sampras level, because it's really Pete Sampras that started that going to another level, going to level. Like I told y'all this in another video. Pete Sampras used to play Agassi. They'd be at level 7. I'm throwing out level 7. Then all of a sudden, Sampras go to another level, level 8, level 9, level 10. Wham! Just wax Agassi out the court. It was really Sampras that started that level stuff. And then Federer came and took it to another level. Okay, people? So don't forget that, people. Federer, I don't care how many majors Djokovic and win, and Nadal, the Federer greatness, man, nobody can take that away from Big Fed. That he was really, before Djokovic could do it, before Nadal could do it, Federer could raise that level way above everybody else. Okay, people? And then Nadal and then Djokovic came and was able to raise their level. Okay? And remember who Nadal was playing. When he won that 2008 Wimbledon, who was he playing? Federer. So he's feeding off Fed. I got the top Federer's level. Who was Nadal playing in 2009 Australian Open? It was Federer. Y'all remember when Federer broke down crying in the ceremony because he couldn't beat Nadal? Okay? So y'all understand that level thing. That is the greatest thing about Federer. It's that that's it. And forget everything else, people. It's that Federer was able to raise his level so far above everybody else's. And then all those other players like Nadal and Djokovic, they came and tried to do, and not try, they did the same thing. But it was Federer that started it, okay? Before, I know Sampras did it before Federer, but we talking about these three, Djokovic, Nadal, and Federer. It was Federer that really did it before Djokovic and Nadal. Okay, people? It's Preacher Rock, signing off. Have a good one.